All right.
Can we have a new podcast called 15 Seconds of Silence?
We just edit together all of the room tone recordings from all of the podcasts that we've ever recorded, and that's just all it is. We put out one episode every year.
Mainly just lots of cars driving by.
Yeah, just lots of cars driving by, some heavy breathing, maybe the sound of, like, somebody finishing a sandwich. It'd be good. You just almost threw a little girl into your void bag.
God damn it.
To be fair...
Which is just... there's no... That you can't be fair.
She might have just been like a gnome or dwarf adult. We don't know if she's a little girl.
Does that justify murdering somebody?
She was a little female. Let's say that.
Just a chipper little female, completely non-threatening, and you're trying to shove her into a void bag.
I mean, he was...
Yes.
It was just the first thing that came to mind.
Exciting enterprise, and he wanted it all for himself.
He's the Steve Jobs of this world. He kills him and takes
you just tried to throw little female Steve Jobs into the void bag.
No, I meant Doug is Steve Jobs.
Doug is not Steve Jobs.
He's stealing the
Laryn is the opposite of Steve Jobs.
Laryn
is... You guys arrive at the edge of Xaranth, and... It's a lot less spectacular than you thought it was going to be. As you approach it, you can see that it's just sort of a bunch of huts. It almost looks like sort of the kind of place you'd expect like Canadians to live in, or like Eskimos. It's very flat, and it's surrounded on the northern side by some... not mountains, but like big rolling hills, sort of like the mountains in Pennsylvania. Like you could climb it in an hour or two if you were really determined.
So it's cold here?
Yeah, you need...
I take out the fur insert for my cloak and then start snapping it in.
Alright, that's a good call. Yeah, it's sort of it's getting very tundra-y. There's no trees for as far as the eye can see in any direction. You guys find yourselves at the southern edge of Xaranth, and it's organized in sort of concentric circles of these little shack huts, and there's 3 circles of huts, and that sort of serves as their street. And then sort of going north to south down the middle is sort of like a main thoroughfare.
Well, it worked the last time, so I say, to the bar!
No, I'm just gonna say, lead the way, Horril. You're the one who brought us here, right?
All right.
Oh, of course, yeah. Welcome to my home. I grew up in that building there, and he starts leading you down the main thoroughfare. My mother gave birth to me in that house. It was made a big mess. Oh, I was a sloppy one coming out, I'll tell you what. He leads you right into the center of town. It's sort of a little town square. All the buildings are, like I said, very ramshackle. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular, or anything that you need before we head to my love shack, if you will?
No, don't want to go there. Nope.
No, I think we're good on weapons and items. Maybe, do you have a shop where we could buy a couple sun rods?
Yes, but I should warn you that everything up here is very expensive because it's so remote. I mean, we could do it, but you're gonna pay like hand over fist.
Take me. I'll bargain.
Oh, okay. So he leads you to the hut. It's right in the center of town, right sort of opposite the town hall, city hut. It's just this little sort of dilapidated shack. And you go inside, and it's very dimly lit, and there's a short old woman behind sort of a podium.
I approach the old woman and see how she greets me.
Hello there, young man. How can I help you?
Just looking for some sun rods, specifically.
Sunrods, yes. What would somebody like you need that for? Huh?
She sort of like looks at you as she's going through some little boxes and things in the back.
I walk up next to him. I'm like, we just got done raving like 3 days straight, and we burned through all of them.
Oh, yeah, kids these days. Oh, I know how it is.
And she sort of pulls out this other box from behind a bunch of other boxes in the shack.
She says, how many do you need?
I guess I'll take 3. And I'm planning on distributing them amongst the 3 of us.
Okay, so that'll be 15 gold.
Okay, I pay it.
Yeah, I mean,
And we move on with our lives.
that's 15 gold he doesn't have, but still has 160.
3, yes. Now I still have 163. I'm good with that. Now everyone's back up to 2 sunrides,
Right.
and we can move on
To
the sex dungeon or whatever.
Whoa, what?
For the love of God.
All right, so you head outside, and Horril says, "Come, I've got some food left in the fridge." But he doesn't say fridge because this is a fantasy universe.
The icebox.
The ice chest, but as we just call it, it's just a chest because it's so cold up here.
It's actually just the chokey
Whoa, what?
from Matilda.
I get it. I got that reference.
I did not.
Well, it's clearly you didn't have a childhood. So you arrive in front of this. You arrive in front of this. This sort of larger than usual hut in the very back corner of town, and unlike most of the other ones, this one is sort of round, and it's got like a sort of a teepee roof, and it's very small. And then next to it, there's sort of a more modest looking shack. Catherine says, "Well, Horril, you'll know where to find me." And she goes into the smaller, squarer, wider shack, and Horril says, "Oh, come in. I don't ever get visitors up here. Nobody ever comes to Xaranth." And he sort of pulls back the opening to the round, larger hut. So you guys go inside, and as soon as you step in, you realize that the ceiling is a bit low. It's a lot lower than it is on the outside. Ku has to sort of like tilt his head to the side and like crouch a little bit to stand up. And of course, Horril is like 4 feet tall, and so he has no problem at all. He says, "Can I get you guys anything? I've got some milk. I've got water.
Do you have any sandwiches?"
He opens up this chest in the middle of the room, and you see a bunch of flies come out.
Oh.
He says, "Oh, I've got 3 or 4 left over."
I'm good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hedge my bets here, and I'm just gonna.
You're gonna eat one.
I take it.
So who here is gonna eat a sandwich?
Not it.
Not.
Yeah.
Just me.
Okay, just Ku. Ku, why don't you roll a Constitution check?
A vomit check.
Do we have that as a skill, or is it just a D20? Like,
Just roll a d20. Yeah,
no
yeah.
modifiers and all that. Whoops, that is not that. Roll D20. 19.
Yeah, you eat it like a pro. You eat the sandwich, and surprisingly, it doesn't taste nearly as bad as it looks. It's sort of getting real moldy on some sides, and it smells something awful. But it wasn't all that bad.
Mold is life. Life has protein. I got protein.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
That protein.
All right.
Protein.
All right. I'm trying to remember your name. Horril. What brings us to Xaranth, and what information? What help us out here? Why did we trek all the way out here?
Well, you see, last time AJ had to leave, and so we needed some way of getting a distraction.
God damn it!
No, he says, "Oh, now that we have this information, we can look through the archives to see what sorts of things about the crag we may be of interest to us. And so he goes over to this bookshelf, and he reaches up and he pulls one of the books in sort of a stereotypical way that you'd like open a secret entrance to something. And as he pulls the book, sort of a spiral staircase comes down from the center of the room, from this very low ceiling. And he goes up the spiral staircase. You all follow him, and there's actually like a second floor to his hut. You guys get up there, and the room is just surrounded on all sides by books. And there's a little bit of light, but you're not entirely sure where the light's coming from. Horril says, I'm going to start looking in here about all of these cubes that you found, see if I could find any sort of reference to a device or technology that they might be used with. Why don't you... Have you adventurers ever been to the barrier?
I haven't.
Nope.
Nah.
I think you should probably see the barrier to be able to understand what we're dealing with here.
All right, we'll leave you to your studying, and we'll come back after we visit the barrier.
Can I get some milk on the way out?
Yeah.
I fill up my flask full of milk.
Well, you don't. Why don't you roll a d20?
See how chunky it is first.
Or if it's frozen solid.
See if it pours.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you go to pour the milk into your flask, and the milk is in like just a glass bottle. And you go to pour it, and it just comes out in just one solid cylinder.
You gonna bite it like Patrick Star?
Oh, no.
I think your milk's bad.
Yeah. I guess that's it then.
All right, you're just gonna leave. So you guys leave Horril's tent, and now you're standing on the very north edge of the village. The barrier is to the north, on the very opposite side of the mountains.
To the north.
Hey.
All right, so you guys set out. From behind you, you can hear Horril in his tent, and he yells to Catherine, "Catherine, don't disturb me for like 20 minutes."
Oh, god damn it. I
Oh.
knew he was jerking off.
Studying his cantrips.
Yeah, studying all those cantrips. So you guys head off into the mountains.
For some reason, Horril is just slowly turning into like the mayor of Townsville. From
Is Catherine... Oh, God.
Mrs. Bellum.
Oh my god.
Miss Bellum?
It's a little bit. I can see that. I like that.
He's like homeless, like he's just disgusting and godless.
He lives in a tent.
Yeah.
So you guys start trekking up this mountain, and the view is really lovely. Everything is very crisp and clear. And then as you sort of get to the crest, you can see over, and the other side is just completely solid gray. There's no sort of like warm light from the sun. Everything on the other side is covered in what looks like frost. Everything is very spiky. You might say crag-like. It's all just a big mess. Like it's just a wasteland.
Teenage
Interesting.
wasteland.
So you start to walk down the other side of the mountain. As you approach the bottom, you notice that the grayness of the other side very abruptly ends with a cliff. What?
I just realized how close the word grayness sounds like anus.
God damn it.
Oh, for the love of God.
I'm sorry. It got me really off guard.
I was thinking to myself, like, what could possibly be funny?
Yeah, I wasn't even
Bren, we're
listening to myself that
professionals.
carefully. Yeah,
You are.
we're supposed to be people that know how to do good things on the internet.
No, what?
So
So Ku immediately licks the grayness.
Oh,
If I'm close enough, yeah.
So you get down all the way to the bottom of the other side of the mountain. The cliff is very, very flat and very sheer, completely smooth all the way across. And it looks like the top of the cliff, where the sort of very gray, frosty dirt ends, is much higher up than you, but it also sort of isn't flat or level. It sort of goes up and down.
Interesting.
I guess we keep continuing on.
Where do you try to continue? How do you try to continue? You're at the bottom of this cliff.
Could we climb it? We got a lot of those pitons.
I don't personally want to climb it. I'm thinking, is this the barrier? Like, I don't think we're supposed to get over it.
I don't know, somebody's gotten over it. Or under it. Or through it. Or around it.
Yeah, I don't know if we should be really messing around with this thing. We could cause some sort of incident. If we do manage to get through, yeah, definitely something bad could happen.
So, I say let's, like, look around either to the right or the left of as far as I can see and see if there's any way around.
All right, which direction you want to go, left or right? Left is sort of towards the foothills of the mountains, and to the left. Sorry, to the right. To the right is the foothills of the mountains. To the left is more towards some flatter tundra-like land.
I'd say to the right.
That's what I was
To
thinking.
the foothills.
All right, so you guys sort of climb up these foothills, and you're at a point now where the ground and the top of the cliff sort of intersect, and you notice that this perfectly smooth cliff just disappears into the ground at this point, and the ground that you're on sort of goes up. Almost like they're two completely different pieces of land that are just sort of clipped together.
Well, can we step off to the other side?
Yeah, so are we now higher than the barrier?
Yeah, you're just a little bit higher than that sheer cliff.
All right. Well, I'm going to, I guess, flick a gold coin over the barrier to see.
Like,
Oh, okay, just flaunt your wealth.
just Scrooge McDuck over here, just like, I can just throw
It's a gold coin.
Yeah, I know. I only have 36 of them.
I know. I'm ready. Yeah, I'd rather do that than just like jump over myself and then you guys take my gold. So,
All right, why don't you roll a d20?
okay,
If only we had that dwarf girl. Could have thrown her over.
it's a 10.
So you flick it with your thumb towards the barrier, towards what you assume the barrier is, and it literally just stops in midair and sort of bounces off like it hit a pane of glass.
All right, I pick it back up and I was like, see, I knew something was up. Or see.
I take out my great axe.
Okay.
And I swing at it.
Do you swing to hit or just swing?
I just swing at where I saw the coin bounce off.
All right. Roll a d20.
Boom. Shit, too. I am doing terrible tonight.
So you swing with your great axe, and it hits this invisible wall. It makes sort of a thwang noise, and the vibrations go down the handle of your great axe, and you get all shaken up and knocks the wind out of you for a second.
Whole body shaking and it rattles me backwards.
Well, I think we found what Horril wanted us to find. I don't know if there's anything else we need to do here.
Yeah, let's head back and see if he's got any fresher food made up.
All right.
I wouldn't bet on it.
You guys are pretty far away from Xaranth. Xaranth is obviously on the other side of these mountains, but you hear something off, sort of further towards the direction that you were heading. It doesn't really sound like a person, but it also doesn't sound like some sort of animal. It's very, very faint, and it's off in the distance.
You guys hear that?
Think it's another centipede? Millipede?
Probably another entrepreneur, god damn it.
Yeah, we're not going to shove this one in the bag, though.
You guys climb over this foothill. Can you even have a singular foothill? You just climb over this hill at the base of the mountain.
Their feet.
And
Hill feet.
sort of at the in one of the sort of valleys at the base of this rolling mountain, above the ground on the other side of the barrier, there's this little speck, and it looks, from where you are, it's just sort of a pile of cloth, but it stands out against the dirt and the little bit of snow here and there on the ground.
All right, I continue to approach. I don't really ask the others.
I fall back a bit.
All right, hanging back a little bit, but not too far, because I want to be able to sling some spells if he needs help.
All right. So you get right up to it, and it's just this pile of cloth on the ground, and you can't really see a figure, but what you do notice is that it's sort of in a patch of snow. As you get closer, you can hear it sort of groaning and moaning away. It's not moving really at all.
What's the problem, little guy?
It just upon hearing you, it goes completely silent.
Hey.
I get out the spider leg. I unsling it off my back, and I sort of just like poke it.
So you hear it sort of say something like "Go away."
No.
You shut him up.
No, I think, and then I think what's happening, and I pull back the cloth so I can get a better look at it. But I think I know what's happening here.
Frosty the snowman melted.
You pull back the cloth, and sure enough, it's Frosty the Snowman. There's some pieces of coal and a carrot nose. No, it's
someone turning back into a cragsman.
Yeah, there's a person here, and they're sort of halfway in the process of. But it's
cold enough
back.
here that they're not dying from the heat.
Are you going to dungeon master this game? Jesus Christ!
What happens next, AJ?
Yeah, so they're sort of, their skin is still, it's not like boiling and getting all gross and disgusting very much. There are patches where the skin looks like they've been burned, but it's not too bad. The creature seems to be like mostly naked, just in the snow.
Well, what do we have here? Someone we can interrogate.
Please no. I don't have long.
Ku, get some snow around this guy.
I'm gonna use dragon frost on the snow that we pile around him to form sort of like an ice prison sort of thing around his body.
All right. You want to roll a d20 for that?
Yeah.
Not 20, you kill him.
What would that be? 13?
All right. You cast Dragon Frost. The ground around just sort of, it looks like the inside of a freezer that's been going for way too long at the supermarket. And it's just like solid packed snow / ice. You see the cragsman not curl, like uncurl a little bit, and like a look of relief sort of goes across its face. He says, "Thank you, but that won't last very long."
It's all as long as we'll need it. Now listen, we have some questions for you. What is going on here? You're like melting, bro.
I'm pleased that you have 2 eyes and can see. I'm sure this has been happening in a lot of places.
Why are there so
What-
many cragsmen here?
We were trapped on this side of the barrier. This is where we were when the war ended. We've been trying to survive ever since.
And how have you been accomplishing this? And what went wrong?
Cubes.
We have a technology that allows us to channel magic great distances, and it allows us to survive in warm places.
Okay, we ran into someone who had mentioned that it was happening too soon. Is there a time limit to which like you guys can cast this sort of magic?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, you fucking better.
No, I think
no.
this is not anything he can help. Like, he's gonna die anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why the magic ended. They shouldn't. Why would they turn it off? Why would they stop sending us magic? They know we would still be alive.
How many Crags people do you think are over here?
I don't know.
Give us an estimate.
Thousands? Tens of
Oh
thousands?
my god.
Were you alive originally during the war, or is this a generational thing?
I was alive in the war. I was a soldier.
Oh,
We're all soldiers.
shit.
Now I see. Oh,
What?
like we ran into someone who had a child. It seemed like her child had been human. How does that work? Like, how does the magic work when it comes to like passing on genetics?
Where do crag babies come from?
Ugh.
When a mommy crag and a daddy crag like each other very much, they fuck.
We can't possibly have children with people that are not of the crag. The child was probably adopted.
Oh,
It's very
that
progressive.
explains a lot.
Oh,
Tricky.
do you know?
It's just that moment of realization.
Alright, now here's the final question. Do you want to burn here to death, or do you want to take a wild trip in the void bag?
You want to die, or do you want to see what's behind bag number 1?
Why would you do this to this poor guy?
He's gonna die. It's giving him the option of, do you want something exciting or do you want something painful and like awful?
If he's still able to live, I still have more questions.
Okay,
I don't want to immediately kill him.
I was just thinking we were at the end. We were exhausting our questions. It's
Well,
time for
maybe
him
you
to-
should have asked.
This is a pretty long conversation for someone on the verge of death.
The people who was supplying you magic, was it a government, king,
It was our people.
what, like government or king?
Like as a collective, like almost like a spirit bomb sort of thing.
He sort of looks at Da'ani and sort of like closes his eyes in recognition.
It's exactly like Dragon Ball Z.
They're Namex.
We don't know why they would have done this. I was lucky to escape this far.
Yeah, and you've been very helpful. You're the only one I've met so far that I liked.
He's actually the
Well,
only
I mean,
one
they've
that
all
you've met.
died after like 3 seconds. So
Yeah, good point.
As you guys are talking to this person in the snow, the sun has sort of started to come up over the mountain, over the top of the mountain, and now the snow is, you can see, starting to get all glistening, like when snow is about to start melting.
do you want us to stay with you, or do you want us to leave you alone?
I would prefer to depart in solitude.
Die in peace. Alright. Thanks again. See you on the other side.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right. Okay. So you guys.
We didn't even
Me-
get that guy's name. Oh well.
Yeah, I know. You guys are just on a fucking roll. Like, yet again, not asking people their name. You guys start trekking back up and over the mountain. All right, so you guys are sort of at the entrance to Xaranth.
Alright, let's get back to Horril and let him know what happened.
All right, so you guys go to Horril's tent.
Is he still
From
like
about-
by himself?
Well, from about 100 feet away, you hear, "Ooh, that's hilarious! Oh, 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 boy! Oh, it gets me every time! Oh."
Oh no.
Jesus.
You
I hate this game.
you guys go inside and go up the little steps, and Catherine is sort of in the attic, sitting on like a stool, and it looks like she's reading a book to Horril, and Horril's like laying on the floor with his head sort of in his palms, looking up at her, and she's reading a little story.
That's immediately how I imagined it.
Oh, look who's back from the great adventure up to the barrier. How was it popping your barrier cherries?
Oh, God.
It was sad.
Since I'm, like, too massive to fit in correctly, at least going up the stairs, can I just pop my head in through the stairs and not get
Sure.
my whole body? There.
Sure.
It was alright. We we ran into something we weren't expecting. We found another Cragsman, but he was still alive, so we actually were able to get some valuable information. But before we tell you about that, what'd you find in your books?
It seems that whatever the energy that they were channeling with these cubes is not a specific type of energy. It's more of a general purpose energy, if you will. They're able to use it for many different things, and only one of those things is sustaining life.
Okay.
So that was cut off, is what you're saying?
Yes, they're no longer sending it through these cubes. It's not being directed outwards anymore.
Maybe they're cutting ties and just starting new lives and accepting what's happened.
I'm just imagining in fantasy world, wherever the fuck we are, they just have like these cell phone towers on the other side of the crag that they're taking down. They're like, fuck that. Now they just don't get any signal.
Catherine looks at Horril and then looks at you and says, the most important detail is unfortunately the most disturbing one. And she looks back at Horril. Oh, right. All of the other uses for the energy are various types of offensive weapons.
Oh, okay. All right, so they're cutting their losses on these people, and they're refocusing the energy they were sending to keep them alive towards their weapons.
Yeah. Well, they could just be building it up, but it seems that would be unlikely because then there would be nobody left to support. But yeah, they're probably gonna do something pretty bad, unless there's something we don't know about. But I've been studying these guys for a very long time.
I knew there was something bad about this, and it sounds like the war isn't over. They're just getting ready, and if anything, those Crags people on the south of the barrier probably would have sided with us because they've been here so long. But you never know. They were also alive since the war, so they might have reverted back to their old ways. But now they can't because they just got betrayed.
Catherine looks at you guys and says, here's the thing about the barrier. The barrier was put in place by the Ku-Ruk and Silverstone provinces at the end of the war, and to our knowledge, there's nothing that can break through it. Which means that if the Crag are planning to mount some sort of attack, they have some sort of weapon that can pass through the barrier. And if that's the case, then they have a power whose strength is simply untold.
Yeah, we're fucked if that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's bad news, Bears.
I don't know if that's the case, though, but well, let's just hope nothing happens.
Yep.
You're right. You're right in time for the best part of this story. Catherine, get along with the story. Let's finish this up. And he looks back at Catherine, and Catherine has this sort of worried look. Should I continue, or do you want to do something?
Yeah, we'll just finish the story and we'll.
Is the story about the Crags people, or is this just Mother Goosery rhymes that have
and then
nothing to do?
the little sheep ran all the way back to its home.
This is why I did
And Horril starts hooting and hollering, and I love the part with the sheep. And she shuts the book, and Horril just immediately falls asleep.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, let's go stop the Crag from annihilating us.
Where to begin is the question.
So Catherine says, let's go back to my house, and we'll talk there. We won't disturb this one. And Catherine, it seems like she has the same sort of magic on her tent that was on what was it, Calamant's tent back in Haverton.
Yeah, where you enter. It doesn't matter if you enter or exit.
Yeah, it's it's really strange. Like you can't tell what the entrance to the hut is, but once she sort of parts back the opening, and you go in, and she shuts it, it disappears again. And so now you're inside of Catherine's hut. It's very nice, and there's some herbs drying near the fire in one corner, sort of hanging from the ceiling, and it's just a small stove with a little fire going in it, and there's a very large cot for a very large woman, and just a table and a chair and a proper ice chest that seems to be packed with snow.
Guys, what if she's part of a secret society with Calamant? That's how they have these tents. It's like an Illuminati, but like a Kragagati.
That's intense.
Catherine says that this is all very, very troubling. And it's very strange for me to find myself in a position where I'm at the center of all of this. This could very well be the fate of our country.
Catherine, now bear with me. What I'm about to say may sound a little crazy, but
Fuck it.
how do we go to Silverstone, get the object to unite with the objects from the Kiln Rock? Because we need to end the barrier.
Well, it's very complicated. Here in Kiln Rock, the amulet is kept. Let me look at my map. The amulet is kept down in the capital of Beachwind, or at least that's where it's said to be kept. You can take a tour for 2 gold. Lots of school trips, I imagine, go down there.
Do you get a little souvenir at the end, like a little fake amulet? Like, oh, look, I'm the master of the Intrepid. Like, anything like that?
Yeah, there's a little gift shop at the end.
Yes.
And you can buy, like, your own little amulet. It's like when you go and watch go to the Smithsonian and they got that fancy diamond. Anyway, she says, in the Silverstone province, the amulet is kept in the most secure place possible.
Which is?
It's like a vault.
World's End. World's End is at the very edge of their province, and it's quite possibly the most dangerous place in the world.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah, sounds like it's meant for us then.
Well, I think we should save that one and get the one in Kiln Rock first, since we're already here. But even that sounds like a hike.
Yes, it's going to be a fair amount of traveling, but I'm sure the Dungeon Master will help you get through it without too much meaningless violence in between.
But we love the meaningless violence.
That's where we succeed. We suck at the story.
Yeah, we thrive in violence.
I mean, once I get done editing, you're really thriving in the story. But the violence part's where you keep fucking up. But yeah, so she said the hardest part about getting the amulet from the Silverstone province is really just going to be getting to the Silverstone province. Silverstone is, as many know, completely closed to most Kiln Rock citizens. Getting in there is simply not possible under normal circumstances.
Well, these aren't normal circumstances, are they, baby?
Don't call me baby.
Oh, I'll call you whatever I want. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It's very rude. So, I guess you guys are sort of posed with a decision before we bring the episode to a close.
Before we pick a direction, this is my final real thought, and that is...
Do we really want to end the barrier? Because if they're building a weapon that's just going to blow through it, it's like our 2 extraordinarily expansive journeys going to be for nothing.
We don't know for a fact.
I mean, if we can drop the barrier, then we'll be able to at least get there.
Yeah, what do you think about this, Catherine? I'm mainly asking you.
Insightful.
That wasn't Catherine yawning, that was me yawning.
I thought Horril woke up. I was like, damn it.
Where did everybody go?
I knock him out.
Well, once you get the amulet from both of the provinces, you can control the barrier as you wish. So you don't need to disable it entirely. Having both amulets will allow you to manipulate the barrier in any way that you see fit.
Make it into a
however,
doggy.
once you get to the crag, you will need to find and destroy whatever this weapon is.
Okay, guys, let's go get the Ku-Ruk amulet. Who's with me?
That was really anticlimactic. It's just silence, and Ku's like,
Laryn just runs out on his own and is like, fuck y'all. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, we need to find some way to get to Silverstone anyway.
Why would we go there first?
To get shut up. Let me speak. We need to somehow find a way to get in there to begin with. And
You're assuming I don't know how to do this.
Why would I assume you know how to do this? No one knows how to do this. It's very bureaucratic. And also, you tried to smuggle a child into a void bag. So I'm assuming
There
you
was
have
no
a criminal
smuggling
record.
involved. It was just tossing. It was just
Sorry,
a
you
mindless
tried to
act.
murder a child into a void bag. Or little female being. And I assume that means you have some sort of criminal background. So I'm assuming we're not getting in there super easily.
yeah, when he filled out this Dungeons & Dragons application, he put down chaotic good, and I can tell you what, he's not good at all.
Yeah.
I've yet to see good anyway.
The chaotic is coming through.
We
but,
really didn't run the background check on this one.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, out of character, I'm saying, we gotta find a way into Silverstone, like, to begin with. Like, some sort of fake IDs or something, or, forged passports or whatever we need to get across. So,
I agree. Don't get me
So
wrong.
keep an eye out while we're going for the Ku-Ruk half. We'll have to
Yes.
keep an eye out for a way into Silverstone.
It's like we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but for now we're in Ku-Ruk, and
But I'm saying we gotta prepare for the bridge before we actually get there. Like, we can't be at the bridge and go like, alright, that's it.
So you guys are going to the Ku-Ruk province?
I
Well,
mean,
you're
aren't
in
we
the
already-
Ku-Ruk province, but you're going to get the Ku-Ruk amulet.
I think that's the plan. Donnie hasn't said anything.
Yeah, let's go to Ku-Ruk.
All right. Okay. Well, if you guys want to get the Ku-Ruk amulet, it's going to be difficult, but the first step will be to head to Beachwind in order to figure out what the situation is.
Are you coming with us?
I probably shouldn't, but I will give you something. And she pulls out of her pocket, or maybe not out of her pocket. She goes over to one of the small shelves. It's sort of like a set of drawers combined with a shelf. And she opens it up and pulls out this sheet of paper. It's folded up a few times. She hands it to you. She says, This is what's known as connected paper. If you write something on here, it will appear on another sheet of connected paper, of which I own the connected piece. So if you need to contact me or Horril, we're just a jot of the pen away.
Thanks.
I immediately seal the paper and start writing a note.
She reaches into her pocket and pulls out her own sheet of paper, which has been folded up a few times, and she looks at it and she says, This is just erotic fan fiction. I don't know why you're writing this. This isn't even canon.
Oh, God.
Everybody, thanks very much for listening. I hope you all had fun, happy, and relatively safe Christmas and New Year's breaks. I know we all certainly did here at the Almost Better Network, up in Almost Better Towers. I'd like to thank the hosts this week, Doug, Bren, AJ, and myself. Our cover art was done by Ian McAfee. Theme music was composed and assembled by the sound of the autumn wind blowing through trees, Josh Stitt. Distribution is powered by the fine podcasting software at pinecast.com. You can leave us feedback or ask us questions or whatever you want by clicking the link in the episode description or by visiting our website, abtd.pinecast.co. If you're not already subscribed, you can find Almost Better Than Dragons and all of the other shows in the Almost Better Network, including our new show, Life in Overdrive, at almostbetter.net. Our next episode is going to be going out January 23rd. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you very soon.